So, hey guys, Chowso here. So yeah, 6 Plus Yamato has finally arrived on JP and we have the full information. The unit is available right now on JP too. So I thought like there's a lot you can talk about the whole Yamato situation. Like first, how good is the 6 Plus? What's different? Then we have the whole thing with having a 6-star and a 6 Plus Yamato. Like, do you need 2 copies of Yamato? Can you get away with 1? Will we even need a 6-star? And then finally we have the question that many are asking themselves, when will Yamato hit global? I'm seeing a lot of people say I'm saving for Yamato, and I don't think it's really that simple, but I'll talk about that in a day or two. Today I want to focus on Yamato, and yeah, 6 Plus changes color to Psy, changes driven to Free Spirit. I'm personally not happy with that for lore reasons. I know you can have different opinions about this, but anime spoiler alert, I guess, but I don't feel like Yamato in the state in the anime right now that the legend is based on. I I hardly think you can call Yamato a free spirit. Like Yamato has basically been subdued for the entire life, like just being chained by Kaido. Yeah, I get the symbolism of Yamato being freed of the chains by Luffy, but yeah, I think you can hardly say that Yamato has become a free person now. Like that's basically the end of the arc for Yamato here, to become free and to set out on sea. So I definitely want a free spirit Yamato later, but I like heavily disagree that the current Yamato is. And usually I feel like Bandai nails classes, so I'm pretty disappointed personally. But like in game, being free spirit is very good. I do want to note though that many are pretty disappointed that Yamato isn't driven anymore, which I can buy. But yeah, I think it's pretty funny. Like imagine that a year ago, like the maybe best legend in the game is no longer driven and is free spirit instead, and there are like more people upset about Yamato not being driven anymore than people are happy about Yamato being free spirit. Like not long time ago, that will be such an unthinkable thing. I've said it before, but I think like driven has a good case for being best class. And yeah, I think this is a pretty funny example of that. Driven is just so nutty right now, really. But Free Spirit is not far behind, and you can make a case for Free Spirit being better for sure. But yeah, let's look at the new captain. Big change right away. CD reduction by -1. I have no idea why they did this. I do feel like this is too good. Like the very good, super good legends usually don't have any C reduction. This lets Bandai make speedrunning units that maybe aren't the best all the time, but are very good at speedrunning. So you have different types of legends. So I don't really disagree about like quote unquote one of the best legends also having speedrun capabilities, but yeah, they've gone and done it now. It also means you can run like the Mr. 3 support on Yamato, which you could before too, but now it helps a lot more with reduced CD and such. Anyway, boost size, striker, free spirit, attack by 4.75 times. Yeah, it makes sense, same as before, just new classes and color. HP by 1.3 times, also unchanged. Booster attack further for every perfect hit in a row, up until 5 times attack. So before this was tied to having one slot. Now it's tied to hitting perfects. Most of the times, this is probably a buff, but maybe a nerf, since like you do want one slots when you want to do the most damage anyway. So this can potentially mean less damage, like if there's some barrier of you just miss a perfect and such. But it's very little damage in the end. Like how long does it even take to get to 5 times attack? I feel like that should be like the multiplier after you hit the first perfect. It also says boost the initial chain coefficient by plus 0.3, which can stack with other buffs. And yeah, this is new. Before, Yamato had a conditional chain coefficient boost by 1.2 times. which basically is a quote-unquote fake chain captain buff, but not that high, but it does help a lot when you do start stacking chains. This is a bit different, and yeah, I've not seen how it works, like when you combine with the chain multiplier or chain set and such, but basically it means that in normal terms, when you have one Yamato, you start the chain at 0.03 higher, so usually when you hit a perfect, you see the chain start at 1.6 times. With one Yamato, it will start at 1.9 times. Two Yamato, you will have like 2.2 times when you hit the first perfect. And yeah, that also means that the max damage stacks like before. Usually max damage without any chain stuff is like 2.5 times. Now with Yamato, 2 Yamato, it will be 3.1 times, and if it's 1 Yamato, it will be 2.8 times. But as said, I'm not sure if this is affected by chain multiplier and stuff. I'll probably get back to that in a future video if I discover something interesting. Like, it's up to AP players to test now. I can't really test Yamato myself, so. And Yamato still resists bind by 10 turns, which is obviously amazing. So yeah, let's talk special first, then we can talk an overall evaluation. Special reduces HP of enemies by 20%. It's the same as before, but not as good since Yamato is Psy now. Int at least has V4 Law, so you can get a ore boost with that for Int. Psy doesn't really have that, from what I remember. Like, you have to remember that the AP has a bit more stuff than we do on Global right now, so I might be missing something, but I can't come up with anything right now. At least feel free to let me know if I miss something. Applies increased damage taken by 1.75 times for 1 turn to all enemies. Same as before, very happy it's the same. Yamato doesn't really need a buff, so that's good. Makes perfects easier to hit for 1 turn. That's a buff, new mechanic, very good. It just feels silly that the Free Spirit Yamato gets this, since you will often run like Ori Jackson with this Yamato, so not needed. While Driven doesn't really have that the same way. Like, yeah, sure, you have the Doffy ship, but not as good as Ori Jackson, and yeah, I'd really like this on the 6-star Yamato too, but yeah, it is what it is. Boost the chain coefficient by plus 1.3 for 1 turn. Changes block and same type matching slots into Wano. I'm actually... This isn't the same, right? Boost the chain coefficient by plus 1.3. Do they mean a chain boost? Like, I feel like I need to watch this on YouTube. I wonder if I can do that while recording. Probably I can do it like this. High tech. Let's go down to here we go. Oh, that was the int effect. There we go. Okay, let's see now the effect. Isn't that a normal chain boost? I think so. Yeah, it looks like a chain boost to me, so I'm a bit confused by what I mean by that. So let's just say it's a chain boost. Like, the thing about chains is that there are so many names for them, and like the official names aren't that great either, so people can use different names, but I guess it's a plus 1.3 chain boost, which is very good. I think it's higher than before. I think it was plus 1.0 before, so that's quite a big change. And like the 6-star Yamato changes block and matching orbs into Wano, which is obviously very good. Super type, special, and the condition is the same as before. So yeah, basically, if you look at Yamato overall, like, it's still a bit of a similar situation to Bullet. Like, Bullet also got the 6+ shortly after release. And this Yamato has also got like small buffs all over the place. But not only buffs, like sometimes it just changes to mechanics. And in the case of Yamato, the big one is that instead of a chain coefficient buff, it like just adds a bit to the chain coefficient value instead. Which means that the Sai Yamato will just hit at a higher chain most of the time, but in optimal conditions, the 6-star Yamato chain buff can hit a higher chain when you want to burst. And I feel like this is like apples and oranges a bit, because content right now is not so hard that this really matters. Same talk as I had about the super type specials before, and the same applies to Yamato with that. Like, the super type special is so overkill that it's really never needed, even if it's very good on paper, of course. But yeah, the best way to call this Yamato is a side grade. I'll probably talk more about this tomorrow, but it's not like 6+ Yamato is inherently better than 6-star Yamato. As for the 6+, obviously changing color and class changes things. I thought about a few cool combinations you can do so far, like obviously you lose some stuff, like if you run Yamato as a captain, 6+ Yamato as a captain, you can't run the ulti and page 1 as a sub anymore. You can still do it if Yamato is a friend captain, you have another captain that works, but it's not optimal. Same thing with Sugar, but I feel like that's a minor issue. Like, you can still run Sugar, it's not like you rely on Sugar to do damage. Like, it doesn't matter if that Sugar isn't boosted. And if you want Sugar to be boosted, you can run 6-star Yamato, like, it's not a problem. One very cool legend to run with this Yamato, I know I'm seeing all over the place, like, oh, Yamato and Roger. Like, you could already do, like, V4 Law and Yamato, like, sure, Roger's a rainbow captain, but Yamato being a color and class captain means you're still very limited in what units you can run, so it's not a big difference. One unit that is super cool to pair with Yamato though is Stampede Luffy. Like, you might have forgotten about how Stampede Luffy works, but Stampede Luffy, or Stampy as I call him, he, in his capability, resists 10 turns of the spear and 10 turns of paralysis. So you got a Yamato that resists bind, and then a Stampede Luffy that resists the spear and paralysis. And another cool thing is that Stampede Luffy really appreciate what Yamato does as a unit, like going all in on chain. It has great synergy with Stampede Luffy, since Stampede Luffy is pretty selfish. So you can just build around that selfishness and just hit last with Stampede Luffy. So that's pretty cool actually. Like, you can run Yamato as a friend captain, Stampede Luffy as a captain, you cover 3 of the most common debuffs. You can even run ult in page 1 as a sub then for like guaranteed conditional damage. And chain set swap and all of that, and yeah, I really look forward to trying that. As for chain set, like, we lose ult in page 1 really, but we do gain V3 Law, who is still very good. You just can't swap to get the chain set, but you still have a lot of higher chain anyway, like naturally, with Yamato most of the time without relying on HP. But yeah, those are the 2 most fun options I could think of right now. I'm sure there will be a lot more to come in the future. But yeah, that's my initial impression at least. I'll probably talk about 6-star Yamato versus 6+ tomorrow. Spoilers, I really like them both. But yeah, thanks for watching guys. See you next time.